Oh, God. Josh, the echo is still there. Why? Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache?
Ain't nothing but some
What is
fucking
happening?
echo. I don't know. You can have the camera, or your audio can work correctly. You do not get both. I just imagine Josh's eyes darting around as him like finding mystery audio sources.
He's
Like
like,
somebody
"What
has somehow daisy
real?"
chained Bluetooth speakers. Pardon me, madame, but I am a tad bit confuzzled. Well,
Oh.
Josh seems to be stewing in a really nasty fart right now. Welcome to the Black Tower Podcast, a Wheel of Time podcast. I am one of your hosts, Andrew, the Bijan Mahale.
And I'm Reese, your Athon male.
Fuck it. We'll do it naked. Fill your phones. Fuck it.
Oh, there I am.
Oh, are you listening to us like on your phone or something? That's what that just sounded like. That sounded like it was playing somewhere else. Yo, look at who it is. It's Kari.
Hello.
Or Josh. Oh, he's typing. What is... You guys, the echo is so bad. Yeah, we know we can hear it. He's got too many tabs open. One of them's got the episode link and he can't find it. I wonder if that's... Bruh. Was I right? Is that what it was? Oh.
We're doing well.
Oh man, it's batting 1,000.
So Kari just finished the Wheel of Time, the book series. She's
Yeah, so big
survived
congratulations.
the last battle.
Well done. Well done. Woo, woo, woo.
Yep. Just like you
Now-
should never order your steaks. Well done. Well done.
Absolutely.
We ask them firmly but politely to leave.
I still love... Have you seen the Hank Hill as a Pokemon trainer? And they want to make him Bobby the Butterfree? So, like, he gets... Like, Butterfree gets hit by, like, an attack, like a flame wheel or something. And he's just like, Butterfree! Oh, speak to me! And he turns over and it's, like, got Bobby's face. He's, I'm okay, Dad.
I'm okay, Dad.
It's so great. You gotta watch it. It's
I'll check it out.
gold tier. Speaking of gold tier, the episode we have for you today, I'm excited about. That's not just because there's cool titles and taglines. I mean, to say, like, there's no
this-
like really
this
cool
is-
fun animation.
This is a fun thing. Like I'm real excited about this one as well because I like this character a lot.
Yeah, hard not to.
I was a little timid opening these. I'm doing mimosas.
Oh,
Wow.
I see.
Andrew getting bougie up on us tonight. Ooh, I like the pop. That's a good pop.
Bruh, it's
As long
fucking
as it's-
gunshot loud. Look at that flared bass.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ironically, they made it that way so it wouldn't come out. What a
Heyo.
crazy idea. But yeah, what is this? This is Cheap Food Lion sparkling wine or whatever it is. Prosecco. Rosata Prosecco. Estate grown product of Italy.
Italy.
Fuck off, Josh. You know what? I'm going to say it and I don't care if it hurts your feelings. I hope your camera stops working.
Oh.
Especially
will.
if this like semi fixed it. I want it to stop working again just to confuse you.
It will. It will. Here in about 15 minutes, it'll just be like, nah.
Maybe
It'll
if
be
we
Then
like
at least we're back to the
move,
30
if
minutes.
we like move around a lot and like take up some processing.
Yeah. Well, all we got to do is give Josh like 2 seconds to restart the Streamer X capture card, and then he'll be back and fine.
For another 30 minutes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
Oh, shall we?
Let's do this.
I think today we're plugging Dubby for that jitterless energy. Look at that.
Yo,
Look at that nightmare-scape Walmart face.
Do yo dubby.
But what's not a nightmare is W Energy at w.gg. Use code BTP or click the link down in the show notes or description below to get yourself 10% off everything that doesn't already have a discount and get yourself some tasty, generous energy powder. I think each tub has got like 30 servings is what they claim. I feel like I get more than that out of a tub, but it's great. I love it. It's fantastic stuff. So do that.
Love it.
And then now we'll do your spoiler warning so nobody gets unjustly spoiled.
And now, Kari, you don't have to worry about the spoiler warning
Woohoo!
because you got
But you're gonna wanna
all
listen.
the knowledge.
The following show contains spoiler for the entire Wheel of Time series. If you have not finished the series, you are at risk of being spoiled. You have been warned. What does this even mean?
Mean. The best part.
What's great?
All right. So
Ooh,
before we
gotta walk
actually
in the
just
dark.
outright tell you what this episode is about, it's got a really cool opening hook.
do it. Open it. Give it.
You
to
know
us.
Avienda, you know Egwene, but behind Rand al'Thor, behind Rand al'Thor's rise, stood another woman few people talk about as much, at least, as she deserves. One who gave up her pride, her spear, and even her name, all in service to honor. Today, we're talking about one of the greatest Aiel to walk the third age, Sulin.
Sulin! What? It's another legendary background breakdown from the Black Tower podcast. That's right.
Oh,
You guys like that? You like that?
just in time, Wolf brother. Just in.
Oh, good old Sulin! Love me some Susu. That's what I call her. Like, what's
So-
up, Susu? How you doing, girl?
Sulin is a maiden of the spear of the Goshin Aiel. Described as described as having a wiry build, white hair, and pale blue sharp eyes. She is and also like leather faced. You know, kind of. It's almost like you've been out in the sun for a really long ass time.
With no sunblock.
With a
Very
scar that
bad
crosses
kids.
one cheek.
A schmeece, as it were.
Oh, the timer ran out on Josh's camera.
That's it. You don't get to be graced with my face tonight. That's it. I am now
Awkward.
coming to you as a disembodied voice. I am the voice of the creator.
Look, I wouldn't mind you being there if you weren't so clearly insane.
I could be the insane voice of Luz Theron today. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. I guess I could just switch to another camera.
I mean,
Fine.
if you feel so
Fine.
inclined, until we figure this thing out.
Stupid.
I feel like we got well, not closer, but it's kind of weird that the Streamer X only allows you to work fully right after it reboots.
How does that even work?
I don't know. Like the Streamer X isn't getting hot itself, is it?
No, nothing's warm at all over here.
Fucking weird.
It's so fucking weird. I wonder if the camera's getting hot. It should be. No, nothing up here is warm.
I don't know. Super weird. All right.
You know what?
Well,
Sulin, Susu, what's up? She's
Sulin.
Goshi.
So we're gonna, she's a member of the Goshin Aiel. We're gonna start off. So she holds a status as a senior, kind of a senior member of the Maidens. She's been doing the whole badass warrior thing for quite some time now, and that alone grants her a lot of respect and prestige amongst the Aiel. Period. But definitely amongst her spear sisters, the rest of the Fardars Mai. This is where we let other people talk.
Oh, I was enjoying this so much.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll try to continue. There's not a whole lot we know about Sulin's origin other than what would be true for most of the Maidens of the Spear. She would have started at a very young age, kind of training and toiling about, practicing with the spear before becoming full-fledged Fardars Mai. Given the fact that she's survived this long, that she's so well respected, and she's amongst the upper echelon of the Fardars Mai leadership, not just for the Goshen Isle, but after Rand announces himself or is revealed as the Kara Karn, she winds up being like one of the top leaders of all Far Darsma. In fact, I think she's pretty much the head of his direct honor and bodyguard. Because she essentially, we'll get there. But you don't get that, especially in IO culture, from just surviving in the job for years. Like that is a notable achievement, and it's worthy of praise for the warriors of the IEL across all of their different kind of warrior seps. But given the amount of respect and deference that's giving to her, I'm gonna say that that Sulin has definitely taken more than her fair share of freaking Gashane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She
Like,
would have had to have, right?
that's the hard face of a woman that's touched a lot of people without killing them.
She has touched so many.
Yeah.
No, there's a couple of things that really stand out with Sulin for me. And I think one of the earliest that we get to see is that she's one of the ones that convinces Rand that the Maidens of the Spear are the ones that carry the honor of the Dragon Reborn, right? She's one of the ones that says, hey, you need an escort. You need like an honor escort. You need a bodyguard. And that's the Maidens of the Spear. And I don't think, and Rand definitely did not know what he was getting into when he was like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
Well, I
And,
mean, it doesn't help that she immediately goes to Rand al'Thor and is like, first brother.
yeah. Well, and
Like,
that's
talk
just where I
about
was going with
taking
that.
the duty on like as yourself. Like, she did far more than just be like, I'll just be in charge of protecting you. Like, no, you're first, brother.
Which is kind of fun because a lot of the maidens, they look at him as, the son of the maiden who came back. And so a lot of them are kind of, they interpret that different ways. Some of them say, oh, he's our son, right? He's our collective son, and treat him like a babe, like a child. Some of them, like Sulin, say, yeah, he's not a son, but he's definitely a brother. He's definitely someone come back to the family. And so there's a lot of like interesting interactions. And I think it's cool that Sulin chose First Brother because that gives her a little bit of a unique relationship, right? Like with your siblings,
Yeah.
you can say some pretty harsh shit to your siblings some of the times and still be like, not ruining Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So, I mean, and with that, to put in perspective how close of a relation, like calling somebody your first brother is, for anybody that maybe doesn't know or doesn't realize it or hasn't looked at it, it is essentially just drop the first part. Like, that is the relation you are seen as. You are seen at the same level of relation to the person, whether you're adopted or blood, as somebody who shares the both of the same parents or who shares like just one of the same parent. Like you were seen at the same level of kinship. And you can go beyond that with the whole like to be an adoptive brother named first brother potentially stands out even more because your brothers and your sisters and the like, you don't really normally get to choose those. They're a product of like either just blood relation or marriages that happen in like your family. So like if your parents get divorced and then they remarry and you might now have new brothers and sisters that you had no say in. But Sulin taking Rand on as a first brother is literally her choosing a member of her family. There's almost like a little bit of an extra honor. Like y'all are at this level by proxy, that she just can't deny what you are. She chose me.
Yeah, I like that she takes on kind of both like a mentorship but like protective role at the same time, where it's like she both wants to serve him and be like, big sister-esque. So she gives him that like that tough love but guidance at the same time. Like she's one of those like strong followers that's like kind of pushing instead of just following.
I like that. That's
She's like Massima
nice.
level dedication without the fucking creepy fanaticism.
Mm-hmm.
Like dedication through love and admiration and respect and honor, rather than just, please, Lord Dragon, can I suckle from your teat of popularity?
And I think also, like, along with that is taking some responsibility for him as well, because, he is new to the ways of the Aiel. And, like, for example, his ideas towards women in battle doesn't
Hmm.
doesn't work with the maidens, and so
Yeah.
her kind of giving those lessons that he needs that he's not familiar with. She's like, oh, I can help get him in line too, you know.
I mean, so when we get into that section, so the naming Rand as her first brother comes pretty soon after his declaration as Karakarn. And I believe she even talks about how, like, because his mother Tigraine was a maiden of the spear, he automatically has a kinship to the maidens, and that's part of the justification as to why she says the maidens carry the honor of the dragon, because he is a descendant, like an offspring of a maiden. So Sulin, while they're in Ruidian, she serves as roof mistress for all of the maidens. Like the warrior societies, or just the societies, each kind of wound up. You have where each clan used to have like their own house and hold, but with kind of like the blending of all of the clans into one, they kind of shift more into having like societal holds rather than clan and sept specific. And Sulin winds up being the obvious choice to rule as the roof mistress for the Maidens of the Spear until Rand is like, yeah, it's time for us to go. And she gives up that position, a position that pretty much essentially guaranteed safety should anybody have remained behind to fulfill the role. But she gives it up so that she can be the leader of his honor and bodyguard, so that she can make sure personally that he's safe. Which, as Reese, you were getting into, starts to come to a head. The first real big chief moment that it comes to a head is when they catch up to the ji'e'toh outside of Kyrian, because Rand allows everybody else to go into battle, and just by proxy of where they are, Sulin winds up injured in defending Rand, because he still doesn't let the maidens go fully into battle. Sulin winds up injured, which of course Rand blames himself for and uses it as more justification to keep them back from fighting. So then further on, whenever they get to Caemlyn and go to attack Caemlyn, he outright forbids the Maidens of the Spear, the Fardar Smai, from basically participating in the battle, which again illustrates the point that Avienda makes so much, that Rand just doesn't understand ji'e'toh and the culture of the Aiel. And it comes to a boiling point here because Rand either wakes up or goes to one of the other tents for something, and then Sulin walks in and just starts snapping her spears in half, and is like, the maidens have no honor anymore. You've taken all the honor from the maiden, and like I think he has to like very strongly physically restrain her
Didn't he
from
wrap her up in
breaking her.
furs today?
Maybe. I don't remember how exactly he restrained her, but he had to basically actively restrain her from breaking the third spear. Because had she broken the third spear, she would have no longer been a maiden, which is crazy. That
Yeah,
just shows like how much she values honor in the warrior society she a part of. Because she was willing to like permanently remove herself from that society to defend its honor.
this is Sulin is a character who is you know how when you watch a TV show or a movie or you read a book and there's always like, oh yeah, sure, the hero is always surrounded by the best of the best, right? Sulin is very much one of these, right? She is a very uh dedicated character, right? Her loyalty is never in question. Her motive is never in question, and she believes in what she's doing, in the things that she's doing, fully, and she's fully committed to that belief. And I love this about Sulin, but a lot of times people can get caught in the trap of, you have this fully dedicated person, you can get caught in the trap of, oh well, you've got a cardboard cutout now, you've got like a two-dimensional person, they're not really like they don't have depth, right? That's not a character with depth or anything relatable. Sulin doesn't have that. She is very relatable. She has a lot of layers to who she is as a person, and is a kick-ass maiden of the spear. I like that, she's serves as the roof mistress of Ruidian, which you guys have already said. She's the one who confronts Rand. Like she's kind of taken it on herself to be like this leader of the maidens and sort of mediator with the Dragon Reborn. And I love that about her. And you get to see this intensity. She's so fed up with him. It's great. She's so fed up with him that when he's about to go somewhere, I can't remember where, and he tells Sulin that he will take as many maidens as she can gather in 10 seconds. And
Oh yes. Well,
she
she
goes,
has to
really?
like browbeat him into accepting an escort to
Yeah.
begin with.
Yeah, and then so he says, "Fine, I will take as many maidens as you can bring here in 10 seconds." And she goes, "Okay, bet." Flashes some maiden hand talk, like just to the room in general, just like boo 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 boo, and immediately everybody's like, "Pshung!" And Rand is like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my god! And then like by the time he gets through the end of 10 seconds, there's like a million maidens of the spear, right? So many of them, and some of them are very confused. Their veils are all raised. Some of them are like rattling their bucklers, be like, "Ha, funny, you got me." But then we have this thing. Someone says to Sulin, "Hey, you talked to Guy Shine as they were Maiden of the Spears," and Sulin's like, "Yep, we'll talk about it later. It's not important right now. We'll talk about it later." And this leads her to put on a Wetlander dress and pose as a Wetlander servant. And Rand inadvertently, well, not so inadvertently, but he doesn't fully understand what he's doing, but he also kind of understands what he's doing. And he starts giving her all these tasks like a servant, like a Wetlander servant, and really embarrassing the hell out of her, right? And at one point in time, he says, "How long is this going to go on?" And she says, "Until my shame matches theirs." And because that's another thing she cares deeply about is the pillars of Aiel culture, where ji'e'toh means something. It's life, and she recognizes that she shamed the guy Shine so deeply that she is meeting her toe to Guy Shine. Like, I realize that probably doesn't mean a lot to people who are, kind of unfamiliar with the series, or people who are just kind of dipping into the series, but like that's kind of huge. Like, Guy Shine are kind of like these silent servants that just wander around meekly in the background, and for her to care that much, like, I don't know, it says a lot to me about the character of Sulin, about her moral character.
Yeah, she's not. I also enjoyed that she doesn't address it at the time, because I feel like there are times, like even on in much lesser scale, where it's like, yeah, that's really not important right now. Let's just do the thing. We'll figure it out later. It'll be fine. And so I appreciate that. Like, nope, we'll get there. I get it. I know. I saw it too. We'll
You're
get
seeing
there.
this, right? Yeah, I'm seeing this.
Yeah. Well, she even goes in and like she kind of explains why it's such a big deal. Because obviously, like Rand is like, I don't get it. Why are you doing this to yourself? Like, I don't think you did anything wrong. And she gives a better explanation than she does, because there's somebody else that she's talking around or to or something. Because she can do a little bit more than a normal Guy Shane, because she deliberately makes herself more of a Wetlander servant than an Aiel servant.
Right.
So she can do a little bit more than she could otherwise. Little Aes Sedai-esque cunning in that decision to a degree. But she tells another person, she says, "You may not understand Wetlander, but this is who we are."
Yeah.
Basically talking about like, why would you do this? But she does explain to Rand that the reason that what she did, because she's like, "I am accruing toe by explaining to you why I have toe,
Right.
but it's not as bad as it could be because you're my first brother." So, and Rand's just like, he's like looking at this like somebody trying to understand particle physics, like, huh? But she's like, the guy Shane I spoke to, when they were taken, it was a member of Far Darismai. She's like, she is a maid. She's a maiden of the spear, and to talk to her using mating hand speak basically like calls shame on her for failing her society, and double shame for reminding her that she can't actively be a contributing member to her society because she failed so bad.
Right.
And that's why it shamed them so much. But the notable thing about Sulin is, and I could be remembering wrong, but I don't think anyone even comes to her and tells her, because definitely not another Aiel, because it's massively insulting to tell another Aiel that they have toe. it's once they come back from Camelin, because this was a rush job to get escorts together to go into Camelin. It's not until they come back that Sulin basically just immediately on the spot drops all of her Maiden of the Spear shit and goes and puts on, like, runs naked to find a dress and puts it on, so that she can on it. So it says a lot about how deeply respectful, humble, and honor bound Sulin is as a person. Because that's like half a ji'e'toh is self accountability and self admittance and actualization. And even with her servitude, because she serves as a wetlander servant for like a month and a half, and it's like after a week or two, the other maidens are like making comments about like, you know, when will she give up this foolish game, you know, things that they can say that don't really like insult her more. But it's a bit like the Egwene, no, not the Egwene, the Avienda moment, where the wise ones just keep making her do stupid shit after stupid shit after stupid shit until she stands up for it. Well, no, not that moment. The Egwene moment, where Egwene just keeps demanding more punishment, and finally they're like, "No, I'm not beating you anymore. As much fun as it is to beat the shit out of you with a belt, like we're done. Like,
Kid up before we accuse you of bragging, right?
yeah. It's like, admit that you've met your toe before we give you more toe than the toe we gave you by telling you that you've met your toe. Like,
Such a
it's
fun
fucking
A lot of
yeah,
toes.
all the time. But the biggest thing that pulls her out and kind of makes her admit, okay, I have met my toe, is, I mean, it's tangentially Rand's fault, because the one thing that I could think of that for Sulin that could make her as close to Sulin could drop all ceremony happen. And somebody, like, this is when Rand gets kidnapped by the Aes Sedai. And Sulin finds out about it. I think, isn't she the one that actually discovers he's missing? Because she goes in to bring him food after the Aes Sedai leave. Because he keeps refusing to eat and she keeps trying to force feed him soup all the time. And she walks in and he's just fucking gone.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of the tipping point for her, right?
Yeah,
She's
well,
like,
so this is Lord of
hell
Chaos,
no.
chapter 53. She's the one that kind of like half shouts, "The Aes Sedai have taken my first brother."
Yeah.
And is like, yeah, no, time to fight.
Yeah.
And that pretty much brings us through like her entire accrual of toe and her meeting the punishment, doing her own punishment, and now her return to the spear, which she does so spectacularly. Like, in the moment, she drops the dress and like, I think like she barely even takes enough time to like grab actual clothes. She pretty much just grabs like her spears that like the one of the other Fardars might have been kind of like carrying around, because they're like, any day now she'll fucking snap out of it. And Sulin just kind of grabs the spears and they're like, hey, fucking, you can wear clothes too. It's all right. Like, you don't need to fucking chase after your first brother, titties flopping around for everybody to see. Well, they don't care about everybody seeing, but you get what I mean. It's cold outside.
Cold.
Or it's getting cold. I think it was getting cold at this point, wasn't it? Or was it still hot as shit?
I think
I don't remember.
because that was Dumai as well.
I've done that before.
Yeah. It's hard for me to keep track because it's not long after this that we wound up with the whole fucking failgate shit. And
Yeah. Which it's so stupid because I left. I'm finishing up Knife of Dreams. Not Knife of Dreams. Yeah, Knife of Dreams. I'm finishing up Knife of Dreams now. I should have finished it back up in May. I'm sorry. Life is lifing at me, and I'm taking an extra month to finish Knife of Dreams. Also, I like this one. But she ends up in Malden in the fail quest.
yeah, because she's running with Perrin.
Yeah. Do we ever? I can't remember how that happens.
So I think I don't remember. Doesn't Rand just send her to go with Perrin whenever he sends Perrin to leave with his army to track down Massima?
I don't know.
Because I know that's when she goes. She goes with Perrin when he leaves with, you know, his army to track down Massima. Because Sulin is like one of the main ones helping track Fael, Chiad, and Bane's trail after they're captured by the ji'e'toh.
Okay.
Let's see. She is among the maidens who meet Perrin when he sets out to view the ji'e'toh camped in Malden. She's present when Perrin questions the ji'e'toh being held prisoner, looking for answers about his missing wife. And she comes back with a fresh slash on her face after killing the ji'e'toh sentries around Malden just before Perrin's combined attack with the Seanchan.
Which is great. I do love the Battle of Malden.
It's such a it's like
It's good.
Yeah.
pure like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
You hate those guys too? Fucking, did we just become best friends? Nope. But we'll work together.
Temporary truce, temporary truce.
But it becomes so much more than that, right? Like sidebar here, side tangent from Sulin really quick. Because you've got this banner general, Ty Lee, who is made this deal with Perrin because not only are the ji'e'toh a threat to the Seanchan, but they're also a nuisance. And they've also got hundreds of channelers that they can take as damane. And the fun part about this is Perrin does this whole I'm making a deal with the Dark One. I'm making a deal with the Dark One to get this done, but I don't care. Nothing matters. Only Fael matters. And then at the end of it, after the battle's over, Ty Lee comes over and is like, I hope we never meet on the you're good at this. and then but they kind of form this friendship, right? This like crazy little friendship. And that's what I love so much about this book series. Guys, there are people out there with cultures that you find morally, ethically reprehensible. And maybe they are. Maybe they are morally and ethically reprehensible. I'm not going to argue that. But people are still people, right? All of us laugh. All of us cry. All of us want to be happy. All of us, want to have some measure of success in life. And Robert Jordan does a great job of writing these very human experiences, where you've got these two people, too unlikely of heroes, too unlikely of friends to ever meet, and they meet. And Ty Lee is like, you know what? You're a good man. I like you. You can call me Ty Lee. And it's like it's this sort of like intimate moment with Perrin and the Seanchan, and I love it. I think it's super sweet. And it's what is amazing about these books. To make a long story long.
Yeah, I do enjoy that as well. That like respect they earn for each other through the interaction. They both have their preconceived notions going in and have to just force themselves to put that on hold. And in the process, they're like, oh, not half bad. Okay, all right. Well, here we go. And I do think that's something that the Wheel of Time forces you to kind of step out of your comfort zone, your norm, and force you to see things from other people's perspectives and realize that you might not make the same, decisions in your position, but maybe you would in theirs. Who knows? And I do like that they're able to find that common ground. Yeah. Even with Sulin in the background.
Yeah. So, I mean, moving forward, obviously she's with Perrin and the rest of his forces when they do find Fael and get Fael back. So she witnesses that event, if you want to call it an event. And then they wind up like doing she's with Perrin and team when they start having their back and forth with the Children of the Light. Especially after Galad has taken over control of the White Cloaks. She is the one that confirms to Perrin that Rand battled Ravin and Andor, which almost causes Morghese to reveal herself to those that don't already know that she's Morghese. She's the one that discovers, so while they're camping, there's a bubble of evil that strikes them, causing everybody's weapons to attack their owners. And she's the one that discovers that you can stop them by throwing dirt on them. Fucking who else but Sulin?
Sulin's the goat.
She pulled out the Spider-Man 3, looked at her spear, and was like, I'm going to rub some dirt in your eye.
Hope you can enjoy the victory with one freaking eye.
I like to picture that, just like, she gets up and she goes to reach for her spears and, oh no, those are them, and just what's there? Dirt. Oh.
Pocket
Everybody
sand.
Do that.
she straight up did the whole pocket sand.
Yeah. She and the rest of the maidens with her are the ones that wound up scouting the entire White Cloak camp the day of Perrin's trial. After Perrin's entire army withdraws through a gateway, she is one of the maidens that keeps getting sent back to keep looking at the White Cloak camps to see where they are and what they're doing. And she gets back just in time to watch Perrin create Ma Alanir. And then she's part of his like semi-formal procession whenever they go to Camelin to meet Elaine. She is also one of the few characters that have a notable correction to the initial printing
That's right.
from the Gathering Storm. I'm assuming you might have that up, Josh.
I do. So this it was a bit of a continuity error that they eventually corrected. But in the Gathering Storm, it's listed that Sulin is one of the maidens who scouted Natrin's barrow and went through to deliver the Lord. What was it Ramshalan?
Ramshalan.
They took him back to the Natrin's
Whoa,
barrow to
Black
the
Betty,
castle.
Ram Shalan. Whoa,
Well,
Black Betty.
and then, but the problem is that she was still with Perrin, like she was not at now.
Yeah.
And as we know, the writers of the books are really really big on continuity, and they kind of went, oh wait, and so then they swapped that out. It's not Sulin who went there to scout Natrin's barrow. It's Naralia,
Don't you know?
and it has been
Here we go
corrected
again.
in the later
Naralia.
versions of the books. But yeah, no, Sulin's awesome. We love Sulin. She's great.
Mm-hmm.
She is awesome. So some of the kind of final probes or whatever to kind of like think more about Sulin, because there was actually like a bit of a semi structure to this one. I don't really want to do the first one because comparing and contrasting her with other famous female characters from the series is it can just get really long and weighty for unnecessarily. So I like the second and third prompt. So Sulin does a really good job at representing strength through humility, leadership without ego, and an unshakable cultural identity. She never loses who she is. She's never overly like, well, I'm the boss, so you need to listen to me. Not just because that's seemingly incompatible with IO culture as a whole, unless you're a Shido swine dog. But for her, it seems almost like Sulin does. She's the most Aieliest Aiel that ever Aieled.
Yeah, even in like after she comes back from being Gaishain, she has a bit of a like there's a fight with the maiden who had been leading kind of in her absence. And I think it's interesting that even though she technically wins, the other maiden still kind of retains control. And I think that's kind of part of that personality where it's like she acknowledges she is the stronger, but also that she was kind of out of line. And while not necessarily toe earning, that person should keep leading and she chooses a different role instead. And I think that's again a nod to how much she respects the culture and the importance of what she's doing rather than her specific role. It's the whole of what they're doing.
Love
like
it.
that.
Love it. Like I said before, and I'll say this again. I love a character who is dedicated, who is sincere, who believes deeply in what they're about, and is still smart and is still a character that I want to learn more about. Sulin seems to be a bit of like an Obi-Wan Kenobi character, right? Because she definitely makes mistakes. She definitely screws up a couple times. Maybe she wears a Wetlander dress and poses as a Wetlander servant for too long, right? Maybe she spends too much time doing that, and maybe she doesn't. We telling an Aiel that their toe is met and they should really knock it off is kind of insulting, right? Because only you know when you've met your toe. And so it's a touchy subject, but she does it very very sincerely. And I really love that about her as a character. It makes me very very happy to read the Sulin pieces of the story. And even when she goes with Perrin, right? Granted, she's not hanging out with Rand and being Rand's older sister. But even when she's with Perrin, she's smart, she's capable, she's a three-dimensional character, and she fits as easily into Perrin's story as she does Rand's, but with an entirely different role to play. And I think that's special as well, from a character standpoint.
Sweet. So I think we'll end things off with this two-parter reflective style prompt. What does it mean to choose shame over denial, and why? And why does Sulin, of all people, get this whole Aiel concept of ji'e'toh and just being Aiel? Why does she get it so right when so many others in the series fail or struggle much more than we see Sulin do?
I think part of what she does well, and is kind of just a staple of the Aiel culture, is they don't really. There's not too much. They don't get hung up on their own pride when their honor is involved.
My pride.
And where it's like, you could absolutely make the argument that, it was an emergency. She did what she had to do. They were the only people around. Anyone in her place would have done the same. But she doesn't make any of those arguments. She just accepts that, yes, while that is all true, I still messed up. And I will take responsibility for that. Like, I'm not too proud to admit that, like, yes, I have a litany of reasons that justify what I did. But I know that that's not true, and I'm not going to be proud about it and let that get in my way. I'm just going to take the toe and meet it.
Yeah, that's a big piece of it too for me. Like the personal accountability. In life, so many times there are so many instances in which we're able to go, okay, look, it's not really fair. Okay, I can't be held responsible for this because I was dealing with circumstances that I was handed, and it was impossible to come out of this with a success. Okay, you still failed. It might not be fair. Great. What does that change? Nothing. Because life isn't fair. And Sulin is one of these people who understood that, who understands that my immediate need is not more important than the personal insult and shame that I have put on someone else. And because really think about it, what it is it's a guard of honor, right? She's protecting the honor of the maidens.
Yep.
And she's not willing to buy honor at the cost of someone else's shame. And I think that's powerful. I think that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For Sulin, I think it's easier to answer the why she does this so well before the first part. And a lot of it is just experience. Sulin has been at this whole game. She has been Aiel, well, obviously her whole life, but she has, lived for 30-ish years as an Aiel, as a Aiel warrior of the Maidens of the Spear. Like, a lot of the mistakes that we see other Aiel make and the way they fall into toe traps, which is a fun thing to say. Instead of booby traps, it's just toe traps. So whenever you like do something embarrassing instead of like just getting caught or whatever. Like she's already been through a lot of that shit. She's learned from it. And that's kind of crystallized in just her experience as a leader and how she conducts herself. Like, you don't get someone that leads from the front like Sulin with the leadership style that Sulin has without first having somebody that has overstepped the bounds and had to be like forcibly or sometimes very just embarrassingly course corrected. And I would not be surprised if they came out and there was a little tidbit about Sulin that when she was a young maiden of the spear, she tried to make a call for what they were going to do in battle, and caught the backside, like the blunt haft of a spear to the face for overstepping her bounds and like insulting the honor of who she should have been following, kind of thing.
Right.
But as for the choosing shame over denial, in a culture with an honor system where everybody would know, but nobody would ever voice it if you just never addressed it, it's really easy to just not hold yourself accountable. There's also like you guys were saying, she had all of the potential justification she could have used for speaking to a guy Shane in that matter. That I'm sure even the guy Shane would have been like, yeah, no, it makes sense. Like the Kara Karn gave you 10 seconds and you used what you had. It's out of the norm, but I don't know. The literal savior of humanity and our people in the end times are here. Shit can be tweaked a little. But she didn't do that. She didn't take the easy way out, and that's what makes Sulin so incredible. She never takes the easy way out.
Right.
And that's why I think one of my favorite quotes from her comes from the best book in the entire series, of course. Let's all say it together. Fires of Heaven. Yeah. Chapter 53, and the quote is, "There are always choices, Randall Thor. You have a choice, and I have one. Ji'e'toh allows no other."
That's, you know what? That's a great quote.
That's a great way to end it. I don't know. I'm fangirling Sulin right now.
I also am fangirling Sulin because Sulin is the goat.
I mean, just look at that. Look at that face. Yes, she gives me
Yes, queen.
who played the is it Jamie Lee Curtis that played like the mom in Freaky Friday? Either her or who was the other kind of older lady from The Walking Dead? Who like in season 1 had the really shitty fucking husband.
Oh.
Her.
Yeah,
Either one of them, whoever picks up Wheel of Time to continue on or just do again.
Hashtag save Watt.
Yeah. Do that. Save what?
Banner
Either Jamie
guy.
Lee Curtis in her Activia commercials. I could see Sulin giving Rand Activia. Like, first brother, I haven't seen you take a shit in 3 days. You need Activia.
It's Melissa McBride.
Yeah, or Melissa McBride.
Who plays Carol.
Carol. And not Carol Baskins.
Not Carol Baskins.
That Carol made some hard fucking decisions. I think they would make a fantastic Sulin.
Who do you think would be a good Sulin? Leave your fan cast in the comments below.
Yeah. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, do you like Sulin? Why or why not? Tell us. Tell us. We want to know. We want to know because it might be a little weird that we're entirely focused on
I don't know who Carlo
Wheel
is.
of Time. It might be a little weird how in depth we like to go on the Wheel of Time.
It is. Focusing on it so much is kind of weird.
I can't imagine who would do that week after week, year after year.
Speaking of which, Gathering Madness in October, which will be our 7th annual Gathering Madness, right? Our 7th?
That's weird that you guys, do it so long.
Let's see. I'm going to go to the website right now.
Well, this will be 7 years that we've been doing, that the podcast has been here.
Oh, that's right. I hid the page, so I can't see it.
I
think it was our 6th.
When did we all first get together first time? Was it the 29th? Was it 2019? That we all first went?
I can look though. I can look.
I feel
Wait.
like that would make sense.
Mm.
Oh, collections. Picture of Andrew.
Oh, fucking pictures. I was like, what?
Yes. 2019 is the first time that the Black Tower podcast celebrated the Gathering Madness in person.
Yeah. This will
in
be the
Los
7th
Angeles.
celebration, the 6th official Gathering Madness.
Dang, dude. Look at how young we were. Oh, man.
Try not to.
And then we did our first Jordan Con in 2021. We did the COVID Jordan Con. That was our first Jordan Con.
Yeah, that was in July.
July of 2021.
Now, like July through October, so busy because we got obviously, well, JordanCon's in April. We got WatCon in July. Hope to see as many of y'all listening, watching, whatever there as possible. And then I've got fucking MalkyriaCon now at the end of August. And then
Yeah, you're going to
this-
MalkyriaCon.
Yeah. And then now this in fucking October.
And also
And
Tower.
1,000 other things. Yeah.
TowerCon.
Like there's like 1,000, well, not 1,000, but there's like 5 other things that I would love to take time off to do. And I'm like, I'm already going to be in debt to my company for PTO. Like, like I'm looking at how to minimize like days and stuff like that. This was not the year for Gathering Madness to be in Utah instead of the Carolinas. As far as ease for me, I'm not getting out of flying there because while I'm pretty sure I'm driving to WatCon. I am not going to try to cross country drive to Utah.
Aww.
Why? I know somebody in Utah that loves me so much they'll drive me wherever I want to go.
You're not wrong.
Or just give me the keys to their baby dream car that they don't care if I accidentally scratch once or twice. If it survived the kids, I think it can survive
If it survived me.
like mentally ill veteran. From my mental illness to yours, I'm pretty sure the car will be fine.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for participating. Thanks for
Watching.
just being your regular badass, amazing selves, whom we love dearly.
Mhm.
Go on over to YouTube, and if you're not going to put words in our mouth in the comment section, you can laugh at the people that do, because that's what we do.
Womp
Because
womp.
it's YouTube, and it's accessible to the vast majority of humanity.
It's true.
That's
This is a true
unfortunate.
But we love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I've been your Bajan Mahale, Andrew.
I've been your Ethan Mahale Reese.
And I have been your Sorovan Mahale, Josh. And we hope that wherever you are out there in the great wild world, things are crazy. But we hope that you leave here just a little bit more tainty than you were when you first got here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking crazy world out there. I tell you what. Okay, bye-bye.
You've been waiting for this moment, for this feeling to grow. In the shadows, always watching, always running the show. In the tower, you can bring your pain. In the tower, you can feel the strain. You've been having so much trouble